Welcome back to Sports Federation TV, the show where we chat a range of different codes of sport, brought to you by the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. My name is Alton Davids. We now continue our discussion about disability sport. Elze, gaan het met jou?
Gaat goed, dankie met jou.
Good? Pooms, are you good?
Oh, very calm, as always.
Yeah. Disabled sport is a broad concept. There are three different components. Maybe you should give us, let's start there. Tell us what are the three different parts that make up disability sport, because people don't understand it.
Yeah, so currently, if you look at disability sport, there is the physically disabled with the visually impaired. They form one structure. And then you also have the intellectually impaired, that's forming another structure, and then also the deaf component.
And each of these different elements, one needs to be classified to be able to participate in sport. And there's a whole range of medical conditions that one needs to conform to be classified. Pum, am I right?
Yeah, no, definitely. So the first classification, you go through your region, and after getting your regional classification and that goes right, and it's more of a tick box exercise. And I think the classifiers, at least in South Africa, are very knowledgeable. So it makes the exercise a lot easier when you get to the international classifiers and you're in and out in 10 seconds.
Yeah. What's your classification? Explain your disability, because for me you look like a normal guy in a general space.
I'm definitely still normal. I'd like to
physically
so.
You look normal.
But my classification is T44. So it's a lower limb deficiency, and it's only when it affects one side.
Okay.
So I have a congenital deformity, that's a deformed clubfoot, which was caused by something called amniotic band syndrome. So you'll see by the fingers, and then it is obviously the foot, and then the deficiency from the knee down.
So that hasn't limited your life. And in your sports space, what do you do?
So no, it hasn't limited life in anything. If anything, it's made me strive to be better in all different aspects.
100%.
So whatever I tackle with the notion of people mustn't know me for my disability. They must know me for my other successes. And in the sports, I do 100, 200, 400, and long jump.
Sure.
So they keep me nice and busy.
And you give us one or two of the highlights of your sporting ability in those different disciplines.
So I think the biggest highlights have come in this year, and that's coming away with 3 world records in 1 year.
Wow.
So we've worked very hard, and
I bow.
No, please don't. You must bow to the coach, not me. I just follow the program.
Yeah.
And you know, if you keep the dedication and you stick to a system that works, clearly the results do get there. And obviously we have Elze and the support staff that do all the groundwork from the background, making our lives as athletes a lot easier.
I mean, as a result of that, you got nominated by Elze and a team for Cape Town Sports Awards, which you won Sportsman with a Disability Award. Then you won the Western Cape one Saturday past. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's a surreal experience, because you know, I have all these role models that have been in the sport for a very long time, and it feels as though I'm following in their footsteps. So I was both excited and scared, because I felt this overwhelming sense of responsibility that the next person to hear their name called out better be in a better position from what I contribute to the sports, and what will that be, and how will I do that with the limited time that I have.
It now comes down to mentorship and role modeling. Your job now is to help the next person to say, this is my journey. Yes. How can I help you to be a better, exactly as you're saying, be a better athlete, be a better sports person, to achieve bigger and better. Yeah.
And also it's just that added benefit of knowing that you won't be a sports person for the rest of your life. So how do you set up your future through using the sports and the relationships that you make? Because our reality is that we aren't paid enough to have a big a retirement that you can go fall back on. So you need to do those in tandem and make sure that, you know, the kids out there do know that, while striving to be the next range of Paralympians.
Definitely. Elze, this man has given you a glowing CV about your involvement. I mean, you've been involved for over 10 years in sport administration, but you've also been Administrator of the Year at Cape Town Sports Awards, Western Cape Sports Awards. How does that make you feel as an administrator who's given up so much of your free time, volunteer time, en jy is nogal swanger.
Yeah, babies due soon. Yeah, I'm so passionate about disability sport. So I got involved about 10 years ago through a colleague of mine working at my school, Elena Bartholomew.
Yeah.
And I mean, she was that passionate driving force in the disability sector. And it's so, you know, she passed away last year. But I remember working, I think it's the same with Pumi, is within the first 6 months, she introduced me to intellectually impaired sport for the physically disabled, and then on top of that, classification.
Sure.
So, yeah. One
So
would
it's
think,
in one go.
Yeah.
and from there, the love just grown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was, you know, taught to scale down a little bit, but it's difficult making that choice at the end of the day because it's small sectors, but the people within the sectors are so passionate about the sport.
An athlete like Pumi may need a physiotherapist or a massage therapist or someone to support him in his disability state, for want of a better term. Yeah. And as athletes in a general space, because you always need someone who's able to assist you because you're disabled.
Exactly.
And not that you want to be negative towards it, but that's the reality.
And within our small community, the thing is, the reality is we make use of volunteers.
100%.
So we don't have the finances to pay people, so it's physiotherapists that's local or school based that are volunteering over the holiday to come assist the team. So yeah, it's also for your management and support staff. It's all volunteers.
What's next for you, young man? Where are you going from here? What's the next goal? I mean, you already got 3 world titles in this year. What else can you do?
No, we have world champs coming up now in November. So it's about executing it when it matters. So that's going to be quite exciting. Obviously looking forward to Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games. You know, went to Rio Paralympics, and that was just a tester, just to see what the waters were.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be this one song where we see what our real potential is. And then, yeah, finally, hopefully end up in indoor. I want to be in the indoor circuits running the 60 meters. 100 meters is a bit long. So I think...
I see someone who does 200 and got a world record.
Yeah, still too long. I think I've got a good chance of taking on the challenge to qualify for the IAAF World Indoor Championships in the 60 meters. So that should also be very exciting. And see if we can't get some para-athletics indoor. That would be a real treat.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Also, there's a challenge for you.
It seems so.
Guys, thank you for your time. Well done on your achievements.
Thank you so much.
Locally and now
Thanks,
in provincially, and now you both get nominated to go to to national awards in November.
Yes, and we might miss it. We both are.
Yeah, I'm away. She's gonna be.
And she'll be looking after the little baby. No time to go.
Yeah.
So you might need to go.
In our space.
I'll be honored. Guys, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Alton.
Thank you.
Continue the good work.
We'll do.
Keep up.
As you can see, tug of war is alive and well and growing in leaps and bounds within the Cape Town district, but also nationally and also internationally, as Cape Town still breeds the best tug of war pullers, as they call them, in the country. Let's take an ad break.